want a woman, I want a woman.
You guys got some nice background noise. Good morning. It is Martin Luther King Day. Happy Martin Luther King Day. We are back in Arizona. I drove all night to get here. Got in pretty late, slept for a bit, and now we're going back after the wide buck. I know last time I talked to you guys, I was just wandering around the hills looking for chuckers, being all forlorn. I didn't end up finding any. Had to go home to a school thing for my boy, but I decided to make this trip back down here. I'm gonna be here for a few days and try to get another crack at this wide buck. My brother Rocky, he found the wide buck yesterday. Got kind of bees, man, freaking bees. Yeah, these bees are all over, dude. Rocky already got stung by one. So Rocky found the wide buck yesterday, got in pretty close, but didn't get a shot at him. So we're going back in after him today. I'm gonna stay down here for 3 days and probably just try to kill this one deer. Rocky's going home tonight. Anyway, should be another good adventure here in good old AZ on this OTC. All the acronyms, let's have a good day. Let's go hunt and let's do some stuff. All right, so here's the rundown. I drove my truck in here, which sucked. And right away I heard a deer over here, and then I found a big buck right here, and I'm not sure what he is. He went down the canyon, and so we decided to let him chill because he was a little spooky. He's gonna go down the canyon, and we'll go down here and hopefully find him in a little bit. But the little buck, my little brother Rocky's putting a move on him right now. He's bedded up with a doe under a tree, and then there's a few more does a couple hundred yards up the hill from him. So he's moving in there, and I'm gonna see if I can film from here, see what happens. It looks like we've got deer on their feet, so let's see what's going on. So here's the plan. Rocky went down this bottom here. He's gonna loop, come up, and the buck is bedded under this tree right here at the tip of my finger. And that's the plan. The wind is blowing this way, left to right. So if he can get out of that buck's sight, he should be able to get close. So Rocky is like in these trees right here. The deer is about 100 yards from him now, but check it out. It seriously, oh, its head's up now. This deer had its head down asleep on the ground, like tucked behind his leg like a dog. Now it's back awake. It was like, you could see it just like passed out asleep. I'm like, run, 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 Rudolph. The doe got up. There was a doe bedded right by him right there, but she got up and took off. That's gonna be all she wrote. They must have got eyes on him or something. Bye-bye. That was kind of a weird thing. I thought he was going to get a lot closer than that. It must have caught his wind or saw him or something, because he was in a pretty good spot to get close to that deer. Just the way she goes sometimes. Good try. Is he crying or not? Can't tell. Let's look closer. That's as far as I can zoom.
This is the look of defeat.
These are the look of defeat.
Defeat.
Give us the rundown. What happened?
The rundown. So I got over there, made a big long loop around him, and I thought I was above him. So I was looking below me for the tree he was behind. But as I started sneaking up closer, I was behind this juniper, and I peeked around and saw him laying down, and I just had nothing but open ground in between me and him. I saw him and I went to go back out, but he spotted me, took off. If I had come in higher or lower, I would have been in better shape, but I came in right at the wrong angle.
It's hard to tell from over here, because over here it looked like you just had a couple trees between you. He had his head tucked behind his leg and he was asleep.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw him with his head down. And then like I kind of hid behind the tree and then put both hands on my binos to see which way he was facing, because I could see his antlers, but I couldn't tell which way he's facing. When I peeked around, he had his head back up. That's when I tried to back out, but got spotted.
Well, there's a bigger buck over here. down this draw. I don't know where he is for sure. We're gonna go find him now. So there's Rocky laying down right there. The deer are right there. So getting pretty close. I can't tell which one's the buck with this. Still pretty ruddy. Pushing him around. Rocky just decided to be patient and wait over here. Those does now are within bow range of him for sure. So Rocky's at the bottom left of your screen. He's really close to those deer, and they were on alert for a second, and they just went back to feeding. The buck should enter the right of the frame here pretty soon. That's the buck. He just walked by you. Yeah, just be patient. Be patient. You got time, you got daylight. That doe's locked. Just chill. She's looking away right there. Buck's looking away too. Oh, she's back on you. Okay, right there, right there, right there, right there. To your knees. He's feeding. She's aware. Man, tough spot, tough spot, tough spot. Ah, there they go, bud. Oh, maybe they come back. Maybe there's a shot. He's ranging. He's picking up his bow. Here they come back. Here they come by. No chance. Nope. Oh, that's frustrating. So close, man. Good morning, you guys. So this is day 2 that I've been down here. It rained pretty much, I don't want to say the whole night, but a really good chunk of the night. Everything's muddy and wet, and it's kind of got me a touch nervous because the road in here is not a pretty one. It's a terrible one, and now it's going to be significantly mud coated, and there's one big ravine or rut or whatever it is that fills up like with water really bad and gets really muddy. So might be staying in here for a while. The deer have been off in these flats most of these days, with some of them being up this way too. I glassed a really big herd up here last night, so I'm just gonna start poking around, see if I can find him. Looks like the storm has lifted for a moment, but probably not for long. But that's okay. I got good gear. We'll be all right. Let's go get him. I've actually been surprised that I haven't found one of these yet. Old muley deucer. I'd like to get the other side, then I could try rattling these deer. Every time I've come down, I wanted to try it, and I keep forgetting to bring some horns with me. But little chalker, par for the course, and the kind of deer you see around here. Take that with me. Check out this stud. Whoa, that thing is, oh dang, I broke his jaw. That thing is serious. Dang, real up and comer, real nice one. Too bad he didn't shed those bad boys. Could have picked them up. Maybe next year. So 3 years ago today was my last day of work as a custodian. I quit my job 3 years ago to be able to hunt full time, and you know, even though I'm not seeing a ton of animals today, or not doing anything terribly exciting, it feels good to kind of reflect on these past few years. And it's crazy I've been able to keep it going this long, honestly. And I just need to thank you guys who bought my apparel, you guys who have watched my videos, commented. Just want to let you know that I appreciate you guys. I couldn't have done this without you, and here's to forever, right? I hope this keeps going forever. Hope I can keep doing it. I'm committed, and I've got some big things coming this year, and I'm excited to share them with you guys. So anyway, but right now we need to go find some deer. Good morning, friends. Final day here in AZ. Had a hard time finding a decent buck yesterday with the weather and everything, but it seems to have cleared off a little bit today. Stuff's definitely looking clearer, although there are some fog and some clouds moving this way. I'm gonna try to get up and see if I can find these deer before we get socked in again. So yeah, I think this will probably be, I feel like it's gonna be my last hunt before show season. February 4th, we fly to Portland for the Sportsman's Expo, and after that we have the Hunt Expo, Western Hunt Expo in Salt Lake. And we'll let you guys know I've been working on some all new apparel for those shows. I'm super excited to release it. I'm gonna have a few new hats, new shirts, and I'm excited to show you guys all the apparel. I know that I've had these same styles for a while, so this will be a good chance to freshen things up a little bit. But we're gonna go see if we can find a buck to chase. I'm gonna try to go hard all day today. And then if I don't find him, I don't find him, but hopefully we get an opportunity at a deer today and finish on a high note. Well, I glassed up a big herd way off in the distance. It's probably our buck, because there's like at least 20 deer there, and this big, the biggest buck always had the biggest herd, so he's way back the other way. I'll show you. He's right at the base of those hills out there, you know, so he's probably like a mile away right now, and I can see there's a big bodied deer there, bigger than the rest of them. I can't tell what his horns look like, so since I'm not seeing anything up this way, I'm gonna cut over there. Kind of a gnarly little buck, but just a little one. So the one buck there I think deserves a closer look. He looks like a 4-point maybe. Not too terribly big, but tall, and like, you know, at least like a more mature deer. So I'm gonna get to this next ridge over here, that next little hump, glass them from there. I can just move fast here to there without them seeing me or hearing me or nothing. So I'm gonna sneak over there and see what I can do. They're in a pretty good spot actually for moving in on them, but there's a lot of eyes there too. You know, there's at least 15 deer there. There's one buck that's a maybe out of all of them. He's a 2-point, but he's just tall. He's a mature deer. I'll just go see, and if I get a chip shot at him, I might send one. Man, you guys, that was fun. I didn't dare to get out my camera and film when I got in close, because I was close. So I dumped my pack right here where I'm at. I walked up over the hill to where those deer were. I walked right in the middle of them. As soon as I got in there, I had a doe at 26 yards. And then I had the buck I was in there to kill walk by at 26 yards. But all I could see was his head and his neck. And so I had to wait. He kind of moved down the hill, and I moved out to where he was. And the wind swirled. I felt it hit me in the back, and one of the does blew and kind of took the deer with her, but they all came back, and she was coming up to see what I was, and she was coming really close, and a different buck followed her right up to me. He was kind of a gnarly looking deer. He's only a spike by 2, but he was tall and like looked like an older deer. And he followed the doe up, and he stopped at 40. And I'm like, yeah, I think I'll take that deer. So I drew back, and I was looking under a juniper tree, and then I'll walk over here and show you exactly where it all went down. And there was a hole in the juniper tree, and then he was standing beyond this bush. And I figured if I shot through the hole, I could arc it over the bush and hit him in the chest at 45, or at 40 yards. And I shot, and I don't know if my fletch caught the tree or what, but for some reason my arrow went really low. It went into the bush right under, about a foot under his chest, and he took off. But it's fun to get in close, and just like I was within bow range of those deer for like 30 minutes plus. They had me pegged a couple different times, and they go back to feeding because the wind was good. But in the end, all it took was one wind swirl to get me busted. But I'll go show you where it happened. So I got to here, it's crouched behind this rock, and the buck and the doe walked just on the other side of those junipers, and then they moved off down the hill. So I walked, belly crawled to this rock right here. I was kneeling right here when they kind of busted me. I was looking through that opening right there under the tree. The buck was at 40 by that green bush, and that buried right into that bush. So I think I must have hit some leaves. I had a pretty small window to shoot through, but still pretty fun. Now the deer went over that hill, and there's about 40 deer on that hill right there. So this stock and all it took like, I'm gonna say an hour and a half. I glassed these deer up on the farthest yellow hill you can see. I came all the way down this little draw, all the way around up the end of this point, and then right here, closest I got was 26 yards. So all in all, I'd say that was a success. So that's the buck I was trying to get in on. That's not the buck I shot at, but I think by the time I got over here, that buck had gone down the hill with those does right there, and these other smaller bucks, and these other does split off and went uphill. So finally got a big buck. Big buck. That's what I've been trying to find the whole time. It's a big buck. There's 2 big bucks there actually. That same group, but I can't see which ones they are. Man, that heat waves are bad, but that big buck's right in the middle, kinda. That might be a littler one. There's 2 pretty good deer, but one's like a real good one. But what the heck do I do about them deer? That's the big one coming up to him right there. There's a big one. Look how tall he is and good frame. I'm gonna look at him through the binos. This video sucks. So there's actually 3 good bucks in that herd alone. One really good, he's a 2x4. I think it's a buck that Ben saw here the other day. Just a gnarly, tall, big, heavy buck. That'd be the number 1. But then there's 2 other small 4-points with him. Like, I say small, I mean like 22-inch bucks that I'd probably shoot too. So now what do we do about it? No cover between me and them, but they're headed up this way. I think I can loop and get ahead of them and maybe cut them off. So let's go try that. That deer's so sweet. I don't know. I mean, they're coming towards me, but I don't know. Like, they're usually so out in the wide open. All I can hope is that they run at me, which might just happen. I don't know what they're doing. They're coming pretty close, pretty quick. Well, I got to about 30. No, I didn't. What am I talking about? I got to about 80, felt the wind hit me in the back. I got up to my knees to see if I could see where this buck was bedded. He was bedded right here. I was up by that tree, and I saw him, and he was calm, and knelt back down. Thought, okay, I think I'm good. The wind went back to normal, and then this doe just blew up. I saw her just pile out of there like 100 miles an hour, and then I thought there was only 3 deer there. I thought there was 2 bucks and a doe, but when they left, there was 8 deer there. So odds were stacked against me. But they were all bedded in this like thorny stuff, and it's so hard to see into it. All I could see was the buck and the 2 bucks and the 1 doe. So busted again. I'm gonna head back towards the truck. It's about time to get home. I don't really want to spend the whole night driving, so it's gonna take me a couple of hours just to walk back to the truck. It's clear on the other side over there. But I had a really good day today, a lot of fun. Saw a lot of deer, got some stalks in, even got a shot. So I'll call that a success and go home with a smile on my face.